Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. My salutations to the Sadguru, the Enlightened Master, who bestows upon us the highest teaching of Atmagnana, self-realization, which frees us from all bondage and suffering. My pranams to all. It is day 3, and let us continue our conversation, our contemplation on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. In the last session, in the last video, we looked at the second shloka of the Dhyana shloka of Gita Dhyanam. Today I've chosen verse 8, shloka number 8 from Gita Dhyanam. It goes like, Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langate girim, yat kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhava. It says about the miracle of the Bhagavad Gita. What is the miracle of the Gita? The miracle of the Gita, it says, is Mukam karoti vachalam. One who cannot speak, one who is dumb, one who is incapable of speaking will speak. The Muka will speak. Pangum langayate girim. One who is a cripple, who cannot walk, will climb a mountain. Yat kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. With the grace of Madhava, Sri Krishna, all this is possible, and you will attain to Paramananda, his own state. He is in Paramananda, the infinite bliss. One with his grace, you will also attain that. Let us decode this verse. What do they mean when they say Mukam karoti vachalam? What is our language? What is our speech? What we speak is all centered around I, me, and mine. Our language, no matter thousands of words that we use and we say what we say, ultimately they're all self-centric. So what do you say? You say from the time that you wake up, if you were asked a description of your day, you would say, okay, I did this, I did that, I saw this, I read this, then I did this work, then I got this appreciation, then I made so much money. There is one central theme in our entire speech and language. That is I, me, and mine. To be in the state, to speak a language of I, me, and mine, is to be as good as being dumb, meaning not be able to speak. Whatever you say, ultimately, it's all self-centric. Is there a language, and it's very objective, what is the language of consciousness? Is there something beyond this I, me, and mine? And that is called Devavani, the speech of the enlightened. So, when it is said that Mukam karoti vachalam, doesn't mean that one who cannot speak will start speaking, or one who is illiterate will start composing prose and poetry. It means to say one whose language has been self-centric around the I, me, and mine, now starts shifting towards speaking the language of love, selflessness, compassion, and speaking the language of Atmagnana, meaning he or she will start speaking from the point of consciousness, not from the point of from an individual standpoint, but from a standpoint of consciousness. I am consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Now, imagine the perception of the world from such a state. So in the last video, we used an example of ocean, wave, and water. So to speak in a normal language is to speak the language of the wave. What is the language of the wave? I am a wave, the other is a wave, the other is a bigger wave, or the other is a smaller wave, or the other is a colored wave, the other is a richer wave. I am a rich wave, I am a such and so wave. But ultimately the language of the wave is I am a wave and there are other waves, and the ocean is infinite. There's no way of me understanding it. I'm very small compared to the ocean, or I'm the biggest, bigger than the ocean. So this is the tones of the language of the wave, of the language of the individual. Now, the shift from that is the language of the enlightened, which is I am water. Everything is water. The ocean is water. The wave is water. The other wave is water. That is the reality of everything. Then there is a relative, they have a relative identity, which is whatever they are, but in reality, they are water. I am also water. A language of non-duality. So shift from language of duality, language of individuality, to language of non-duality, universality. This is the true vacha, this is the true speech, and this is what the wisdom of Atmagnana brings, the wisdom of Gita brings. So Mukam Karoti Vachala means this is the shift that will happen. Now one who cannot speak this language, a universal language, a language of love, a language of non-duality, will start speaking the language of non-duality, the language of silence, the language of peace, the language of universal compassion, the language which is in tune with nature, not against nature. So that is Mukam Karoti Vachal. Pangum Langete Giram. What does it mean? That the cripple will be able to climb a mountain by the grace of the teaching. Cripple meaning the impossible. For a cripple to climb a mountain is almost impossible. The impossible for the ordinary will become possible in a very extraordinary way. So, and with the coaching that is required. So, how there is a person who is being coached for Olympic or a big competition. An ordinary person with coaching goes on to achieve something great. So, with the teaching of Atmagnana, with the coaching of the Sadguru, the enlightened master, the ordinary person rather, attains what is considered to be extraordinary, which is mukti. Mukti is actually in reality, and according to the teachings of the Gita, the Upanishads, and Sanatana Dharma, is the most ordinary and simple state of being, which is your natural state. Now, to attain that or to realize that is actually also very simple. But the mind is filled with so many concepts and ideas and thoughts, feelings and emotions. To cross over that seems like an impossible task. To fathom that, to be thoughtless, a state of thoughtlessness itself is such a Himalayan task. So you can have thoughts, you can have this kind of thought, that kind of thoughts, thousands of thoughts, but how can I be thoughtless? How can I be peaceful? That seems like an Himalayan task for most of us. So now that is made simple with the grace, the kripa of Madhava. So in the last video I told you that what is grace? What is the grace of Madhava? Madhava here again refers to Sri Krishna, and also Sri Krishna as the teacher, as a Sadguru. By the teaching of Atmagnana, the impossible task of knowing yourself and attaining infinite peace and bliss becomes possible. Paramananda, which is what we all are just hankering for, a sense of permanent happiness and freedom from suffering, becomes possible. What we thought was possible only for the Buddhas, the great ones who leave the world and sacrifice something and do a lot of tapasya, becomes is spoon fed by the enlightened master on the battlefield, within the battlefield, amidst uh, all the turmoils that we have, without having to go anywhere else. Right here and now is given to us on a silver platter. That is grace, and that is also what the Bhagavad Gita is, a simple teaching to just recognize your true nature and be peaceful and free. This is the meaning of Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.